We've just arrived on Pamilican Island. It took us about an hour to get here on a tiny little local ferry, which is basically one of the wee outrigger boats with a very loud engine. This island's so cool. There's like not even a motorbike here. It's like deathly quiet, which is a little bit different to most of the other places we've been in the Philippines. It's just about like a farm. There's like chickens and goats and pigs and that everywhere. We look forward to exploring this island a little bit more in the next couple of days.
There you go.
It's our first morning on the island and we're going to go and explore the east side. So there's a beach that runs just about the whole length of the east side of the island, and we're going to try and walk all the way down the beach and then back up the middle of the island. First up's going to be the well, where hopefully we can have a little bit of a bath and just cool off a little bit.
Nice.
The well's a little bit busy at the moment, so we'll continue maybe on the way back. This island's really dry. There is not much water here at all. Because it's so low, it doesn't really rain here. It doesn't seem to create its own thunderclouds and that. And then there's like 1 or 2 wells here, but it's salty hard water. Not as bad as the ocean, but it's still not really drinkable. And that's it. All the other water has to come over by boat. On the ferry yesterday, they had a whole bunch of different jerry cans of water for drinking, and that's all they've got here. So it's a pretty harsh island, that's for sure. At the southern tip of the island there's a whole lot of fishing boats pulled up along the beach, and it seems to be a bit of a fishing village down here. It's just kind of lots of huts and houses scattered amongst the coconut trees. There's almost no trash on this island, which is really cool to see. Even along the seashore there's nothing. We found a tiny little shop in the wee fishing village and tried to ask for some coconuts. They didn't have any, so they sent someone up the tree to get them. We asked for 2 coconuts, but we ended up getting 2 each. And they're the most delicious coconuts I've ever had, I think. They're quite small on the inside, but they're very concentrated. It's probably because there's not a whole lot of moisture on this island for the coconuts to make coconuts out of.
Careful!
The 2 people were really lovely, and they've convinced us to do a dolphin watching trip with them tomorrow morning at 6 AM. Hello.
This is the jackfruit.
This afternoon we're going to go out on a small boat and go snorkeling at the coral garden and the fish sanctuary with our guide, who's wearing a very bright coloured t-shirt. we did the snorkeling tour, but the only thing is, unfortunately they didn't tell us that you can't dive down, and you also can't use flippers until we get out there. The corals are really cool, and if you're into going paddling along on the surface wearing bright orange life jacket, then by all means do the trip, but maybe it wasn't quite so suited for us. Afterwards I actually went for a snorkel straight in front of Shirley's cottage here. That was cool. I enjoyed that a lot more because I could use the fins and actually dive under the water. And I saw 2 turtles. They were pretty deep, they were about 15 meters down, but one of them was really big and then one was a bit smaller.
The problem with the tour for us is generally we like to be a little bit adventurous, so the life jacket on kind of zaps the fun a little bit for us.
You can snorkel around the outside of them by yourself, and it looked like the coral between them was pretty cool as well, and you definitely didn't need to have a guide to go there. Today's was 1,000 pesos for the 2 of us to go into the 2 reserves. Sarah went out on our last morning and snorkeled around the outside of the coral gardens by herself and had an amazing time.
It's definitely been my favourite spot to dive so far. We saw a sea snake out there today. There's these really big sort of triangle fish. They saw the shape of an angelfish, but they're much bigger. And there's these beautiful big fan-shaped corals. It's absolutely stunning. So I've got rice, of course, and then I've got some beans. This one is like fish patties, and so they're a small fish and they've been fried or mixed up with egg and made into a patty and fried. And then we've got watermelon for dessert.
Now there's very little accommodation on this island. As I said, it's quite undeveloped, and most of the accommodation is kind of little guest houses, and they'll have a few wee bungalows out the back, and they're all run by local Filipinos. You can find them on booking.com or simply just turn up, walk around the island, and you'll find somewhere to stay. Now we stayed at Shirley's cottage. Lovely place, lovely person, Shirley and her husband. Now unfortunately when we left, she did charge us double for the food compared to what she had said that she was going to. So you can decide if you want to stay there, otherwise go and find somewhere else. Now we're going to go and actually stay with a local family that we met, the ones who took us out dolphin watching yesterday. And we're going to go stay with them tonight and play with their kids, which is going to be super cool. But that's going to be in the next video, so you have to check that one out. And otherwise, I hope you enjoyed our Pamilican adventure. And till next time, thanks for watching.